Good afternoon, Cayman Islands. I'm your host, Tajel, along with my co-hosts, Aaliyah, Ayana, Trey, and Tanil. Welcome to Youth Flex on our eighth show in the season of Compassionate Radicalism. Today we chat with the members of the Cayman Islands Youth Assembly and Mr. Badir Au. Youth Flex has partnered with the John Gray High School, Clifton Hunter High School, and the Public Library to bring you the word of the week, tradition. Tradition. It is a noun that means a long established customs or belief being passed down from one generation to another. As always, you're welcome to give us a call and be a part of the show. The number to call is 1-800-534-8255, toll-free courtesy of our friends of Flow. We also want to take this time to shout out everyone checking out the Flex on Periscope. Today's Chanel's Top 5, so let's take our first music break. Here is Chanel's top gospel song, Kirk Franklin with I Smile. And we are back on the Flex. We are here with Mr. Victor Crumbly and Jamar Dawkins. Welcome to the Flex, gentlemen. You've been here numerous times before, though, so it's not really like a new thing. Welcome.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having us.
Good to be back again.
Victor saying good thank you for having us like you were a stranger. You're here all the time.
I try to be a little respectful sometimes.
Thanks. We appreciate the respect. Hi Jamar, how are you?
Good, and you?
I'm okay, a little bit underneath the weather, but we still doing it. Victor, stop with the shade. I can see you. The listeners can't see you, but I can see you.
I'm chilling.
Sure. Okay, so what are your roles in the Cayman Islands Youth Assembly?
Okay. The Youth Assembly is a program that's put on by the Youth Services Unit. So James and myself, we're a part of the Youth Services Unit, and the Youth Assembly is a collective of high school students we try to get them from all of the high schools. We meet once a week. We come together to discuss issues that are relevant and important to young people, and the goal is to eventually produce some research or paper on the particular topic.
Okay.
Similar to the conversation you had off the air where you kind of summed it up. You are absolutely right, and that's what it is. We want to have young people come up with solutions and recommendations to the problems that they face, and sort of be vocal to help address those issues and problems. So we don't always want to have the answers come from someone up in the office 10 floors up. We want to make sure that young people are paying attention to what's going on around them, and that they have a voice and that they're included as well. So Jamar Dawkins is one of our members. He's not an actual officer, but he works extremely hard. He's a very important role to the CIYA. And, he answered the call, and he's here this afternoon to share his experiences.
This is your second time doing CIYA?
No, this is actually my third.
Your third, you see? You've been around for a bit. You said it's high school students, so like us who going UCCI, we can't come?
No, we're working on that. We're trying to get some good people to lead up another cohort, which would be for college students. We're looking forward to doing that. We just want to get the right people. We have some people who've been through the program before as high school students. They went off to college and now they've come back. But it's always kind of difficult getting them to give up some time to do programs such as this, because college can be tough. I'll never throw any shade and say you can do it all. College is tough, so you have people who are trying to find a balance, and then for the ones who come back from school, they're trying to work and do the whole career thing, and some have families, even early 20s and whatnot. So we're trying, and I'm hopefully Jamar and people like Trey, we have them kind of shortlisted who are going to perhaps take on the older cohort.
Okay.
So hopefully we'll be back, in a couple months, talking on the same program, Youth Flex, from 4 to 5, sharing the good news that we have an older cohort for people who are interested in coming together. I think with elections coming up in about another year or so, and that's going to be a time that's going to really spawn a lot of intrigue from young people. They're going to want to get together and discuss issues and and look at that. So hopefully we'll have some people who are interested in that, and we can, sort of combine our energies together and to get a cohort for CIYA.
Last time you guys were here, I asked about the public bus,
Yep.
and I think you guys were supposed to do a paper on that. Can I have some updates?
Yes, update,
Because I don't see any
anything happening.
changes.
So you remember that though, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, they did. I wasn't a part for that paper, but they did actually do a paper on transportation. And James can tell you, they actually took on some of those recommendations, at the Public Transport Board. So, it's not going to be front page newspaper news, but they have made some strides, and I know James has them. He has them in his arsenal, his memory, that he can tell you exactly what recommendations we're taking on board for the PTS. The Public Transport Board.
We're going to need Jama to come in here later and clear up which ones have been taken up.
Jamar was actually a part of that group, so he can probably discuss a little bit about the transportation paper as well.
Okay.
Doing the transportation, we went and actually took the public bus now and then and see how the experience is for some people.
Mm-hmm.
And we noticed like a lot of times it hot, crowded, cramped,
Yes.
late.
You
You know,
can't predict.
Yeah, so we tried suggesting that bus drivers put on their AC, that they once they notice that too much people on the bus, stop and not try to stuff everybody in them. If anything, call up a next guy to come down as soon. If you notice if they notice a lot of people there on the side that
Waiting.
they and they can't take no more, call up ahead, say that come on a little earlier
Mm-hmm.
or so. I don't know exactly the in-depth part about what going on about that, but we did work hard on that paper, and we hope that our recommendations are heard and then are followed through.
All right, we're going to have Jama come on a little bit later because I would like my updates on those papers.
So, guys, what is your research question for this year?
I can tell you the topics, in a broad sense, the topics that the young people decided to discuss are homosexuality. That was a big one that came up and kind of stuck around.
Yeah.
And then the other one is a decline in the loss of morals and values amongst our young people. Every session, the group goes through about 40 topics. So you do rounds of cut downs, and you vote, and those two topics, those are the ones that stood around.
Two heavy topics.
Two very heavy topics. So I think the questions are being defined now, but we're looking at same-sex marriages as it relates to Cayman.
Yeah.
And what does it mean economically, politically, and socially?
Mm-hmm.
And then the second topic, which is the loss of morals and values, is going to focus around social media.
Yeah.
How does that contribute perhaps to the loss of morals and values? So right now we're defining the question, and also we're working on a survey. We're getting a survey together. Last year we did about 800 surveys. We wanted to do, you can hear Jamar say, thanks to the people at Foster's, for example. They had us in the front there. They let us get some space to interview the community. We did 2 surveys. One was for the community, one was for students. And when you want to have a good sample, you want to get about 10% of the population. So our offices, they were filled with a lot of papers. So we're looking forward to cutting that down this year using a survey monkey type approach. Less questions, less paper. And then also because the kids, I should say the students also had a chance to code and to learn about the research aspect from that aspect, from the survey. So we're going to switch it up a little bit this year for them. And so those are the things that we're working on right now.
How did you guys choose those topics, Jamar?
Well, first we find out the different topics that we young children have as an issue. We collected all, and as a group we voted on the thing that we believe is the one that we really needed to tackle.
Yeah. And do you have any plans on tackling those issues, or it's too early? I know you're gonna do the surveys. Are you gonna go out in the community and do anything else?
Yeah, we're going probably talk to a lot of parents and students and get their viewpoints on the topic and stuff like that. And
So you're gonna try and go to the schools.
Well, we're gonna try to see what the surveys tell us.
Yeah.
At the same time, we're gonna collect some secondary research.
All right.
And sort of get some recommendations in order so that we can submit to the minister responsible for young people, but also that we can share as young people as well. We want to spread ideas and spread solutions, and not just waiting on someone to enact policy on our behalf, but we want to be able to sort of act as a think tank and sort of spread those ideas so we can have a more positive, I guess, community.
I would hope so. All right, we're gonna take our second music break.
Here is Chanel's #1 reggae song, Hideaway by Tasanjin.
And we are back on the Flex. We're still talking with Mr. Victor and Jamar from CIYA. Okay, so you guys mentioned surveys to get information for your position papers before. Obviously, Victor, you've been doing this for a while, and Jamar, this is your third time. So were there any approaches that didn't work the first time and it's like, no, this is definitely, we can't do this ever again? Did that happen to you?
You're talking about in terms of the surveys?
Yeah, no, not in terms of surveys,
but
how you get your research.
Oh, no. I mean, sometimes it's just perhaps tedious. I know James had, his boys are just, they were running up and down on the public bus for days on end, just trying to get the experience of what regular people go through, and interviewing people and whatnot. So I don't think it's anything that's been too difficult, but it's been
or hasn't worked.
The data entry the data entry was one problem though, because like we had 800
about that,
surveys, and to go through each one that had like 16 questions. And then we have to put it out in Excel, get it all in order and make sure all the papers are there and all the surveys is, and it was just a lot of work.
And this year, you guys plan to cut down that paper.
And that's why we plan to use SurveyMonkey.
And I think that would be like less time for you guys if you're using that. You just send it out to everyone, right?
Yeah, we wanted them to get the full experience of what it's like. But yeah, we wanted to take advantage of the automation this year and technology. One thing I will say about the surveys, which is good for all the participants, is that sometimes you have to go up and speak to people.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you have to sort of sell yourself a little bit. That was always interesting to see, because some people they absolutely hated it, didn't want to do it. But then, after an hour or so, they come back to you and it's like, yo, I did 10. How many did you do? So you can see the growth and you can see the development right then and there, off of something as simple as doing a survey.
Yeah.
So there will be pros and cons. I mean, it will be less time consuming, but for example, you might send out an email with a survey link, and then someone might not just respond to it.
Exactly.
So, you might have to send out more emails and whatnot. So everything has pros and cons, but I don't think we've done anything that's been too strenuous where it didn't work and we had to adjust our whole approach.
Yeah, and you develop important, necessary communication skills when you go up and you talk to somebody you don't know for the first time. Like, they could be really, really nice, or they could be mean, or they could be having a bad day.
And we got that, right? We got that. I mean, if you imagine some of the things people, people will say, or I'm not buying right now. I don't want to know what you're
before
selling.
They even listen to the rest of the sentence that come out of your mouth.
And these are your young people, right? I mean, I understand that there was some kids running around with like sign-up sheets to donate money and whatnot, and it was fraudulent. But yeah, if someone comes up to you when they're 14, 15 years old, at least give them a blind, listen out to them for a few seconds. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So, for the listening audience, when the CIYA comes around, if they do decide to go the paper route this year, please listen to them and fill their survey out.
Or respond to our emails.
Or respond to the email, better yet, from the comfort of your own home. Very simple.
Very simple.
So how can the youth get involved with CIYA?
Well, we do an intake every year. Every September, we go to the high schools and we put it on notice, and we kind of I know with like Catholic school and stuff in the past, we've sort of gotten up and spoken in front of the assemblies and whatnot. But we really utilize the teachers who were there at the schools and have them send us, who do you think would be a good addition to represent your school? Because it is a task. I mean, you are representing your school.
Okay.
So we try to lean on the people in the school systems who know the students well. Word of mouth works. Jamar, for example, will tell someone in his year or his group, and they'll ask to come out, the following year. But we do that every September, so you can look out for it in September.
How many people do you accept from each school?
Each school is based by population. So John Gray, for example, would get more allotted than say Triple C, for example. But we normally take a good handful from each school.
I hear you guys have food.
Well, Jamar can talk about that. That's a big pull. Free food, I guess.
Yeah, like close. Sometimes at the very beginning or towards the end of the meeting, they will provide us with a meal so that we can't complain that we was hungry. So right, sometimes Subway, pizza, all they help.
We
us.
still didn't get no food from the last time we spoke about
this.
this.
His face lights up when he talks about it.
How long are the meetings usually?
Well, meetings are an hour and a half after school, so it is necessary.
Yeah.
And while we're here, let's thank the Ministry of Youth, for funding and making sure that we do have those small things.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What you saying? We still didn't get no food over here. What you saying?
It's okay, man. She can give thanks too. Thanks.
So just being a
We
hater.
really appreciate it for you, though.
Yeah.
Clearly you do, Jamar. Clearly. Okay, so when and where does the youth assembly meet?
We meet on Thursdays at John Gray High School, room 111. If you're interested in finding out more about it, give us a call at the office, 943-1127. Or you can email myself or James, victor.crumbly at I'll give him a Gmail, at gov.ky. Or you can get james.miles@gov.ky.
Is it too late to join for this year?
I would perhaps say that it is, but listen, I mean, we don't want to turn away good ideas and people who want to contribute. The outcome is one of the goals is to get the papers, of course, at the end of the school year. But when I think of people like Jamar, who are just growing on a week-to-week basis, and they're taking over meetings, and they're leading, and they're running PowerPoints, or they're just doing all these great things that are skills that you'll need once you get out of school. I don't want to turn away someone from that. So if you are interested and you want to find out more about the CIYA, feel free to give us a call, 943-1127, or you can email us, victor.crumbly@gov.ky or james.miles@gov.ky.
All right, congratulations on your growth, Jamar, that Victor just mentioned, and I hope you continue to do well.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing with us today. Do you have any final comments or shout outs?
Well, I'd like to shout out my family. My big brother birthday was yesterday, so
Happy
happy
birthday.
belated birthday, Devontae. I also like to shout out my niece too. Her birthday just gone a couple of days ago too.
Okay,
so.
happy belated birthday.
and that's about it so far.
All
Just
right,
my family.
Victor.
Because I don't want him to get in trouble tomorrow when he goes to CIYA. I want to say hello to every CIYA member, past and present. Thank you guys for the service that you guys are providing on behalf of other young people. And then, of course, to the Ministry of Youth and the Youth Services Unit.
All right, thank you so much, guys. Now we'll take our third music break.
Chanel's number one country song is Something Bad by Miranda Lambert, featured Carrie Underwood.
All right, and we are back on the Flex. We are talking with Mr. Badir Ow. Is that tell me how you pronounce your last name one more time, because I keep butchering it.
Okay, yeah, because I just told you.
Yeah, for
and we
real.
go live and
For
it's a
real.
butcher.
For real.
Awe.
Awe. See, y'all were telling me the wrong thing
But
before.
they came on to say Awe. However you want to say it.
That's
so.
exactly
That's
what
what
they
we were
told
saying.
me.
Yeah, man.
And that
It
was the
works.
wrong
Potato,
thing.
potato.
There
No,
you go.
but
My
it's
bad.
wrong. But it's wrong. How are you doing today?
Good, I'm very good.
Welcome
Thanks for
to the
having
Flex.
me.
Is this your first time?
First time on Youth Flex, yeah.
Yes.
Introduce yourself.
I'm Badir Awe. What's up, Cayman? Nice to be on the show. I have a company called Awesome Productions. We do videos, and we also do events, like our event Ponciana that we're here to talk about.
Okay, so how did you get into productions?
So I got into production. No, I didn't study production. I studied finance,
Mm-hmm.
and then I did a master's in theology, and then I
Mhm.
came back to Cayman, and I worked for 2 years. I worked for Dart, and then I decided, you know what, I need to get a little more creative with myself, and that's when I got into film. And so I've only been in film for 3.5 years,
Mm-hmm.
and I just got into it because it started as a hobby. I just started videotaping a lot, and then I started editing, and the next thing I know, I was like, you know what, I want to do this full time. So it just kind of just happened. I was following my heart.
That's
if
a
you wanna
big
be honest.
shift.
For real, finance.
For real, to film. Like that's one of the things I'm afraid of too.
Same.
That I'll choose a career, I'll like it, but then I end up following
Do a
my heart
complete
into
U-turn.
something totally different.
Well, you should follow your heart
Yeah.
from the get go.
Exactly, that's true.
But let me say this though, even though finance wasn't for me,
Mm-hmm.
it is still very handy,
Yeah.
right? So the fact that you may change later, not really do anything bad for you. It'll still be handy. Like for me now, I can budget my events and I can budget our films and stuff like that. So if I didn't have that finance degree, I wouldn't have been able to do that. So at the end of the day, I think anything you do will be helpful for you.
Exactly.
So don't stress it too
That's
much on what you choose
Yeah,
to
so
do.
it was never a waste of
Right.
4 years.
Exactly.
Okay, so tell us about Ponciana and how did this event come about?
So what happened in 2014, I had a movie called The Devil You Know, and we premiered that at Regal Cinemas.
Yes.
And when I premiered that, it was obviously the first time that I had seen anything that I created at the cinemas, and it was just a very special feeling. 2 weeks after that, we had the Unlike Festival, and some other filmmakers, local filmmakers, got to see their films on the big screen. And it's such a good feeling as a filmmaker to see your work on the big screen that after that, I was like, you know what? We can't just do this 1 year. We have to do this again. We have to do this year by year so that more and more people can experience it. And then that's why basically we started Ponciana.
Okay, so tell us some of the other filmmakers, the local ones who are involved.
So we have Laurie Spears. She did a short film called Rebirth that will screen at Ponciana. We have Ryan Fassard, Dance of Dust, that will screen at Ponciana. We have The Last Stop by Kadu Brown, that will also screen at Ponciana. There's a local film called Self-Prescribed by
I've heard
Tremaine and
about
Laurel
that.
that will also premiere at Ponciana. So those are a couple. There's also music videos, a bunch of music videos. Josh Pearl, Janez, some of the Money Train people, Virgil. We also have documentaries. You heard of Bright Spot? Bright Spot's a local documentary about coconut oil. There's one called Cayman Warriors about the boxing association that was screened at Ponciana. So there's a lot going on, man. There's Guy Harvey he's screening some at Ponciana, some of his water stuff, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, man. So there's a lot, and that's the
That's a
thing.
lot.
That's why we did Ponciana too, because we think that there's more out there in Cayman than people realize,
Yes.
right? So that's really another reason we did Ponciana, because we want people to be aware of how much creative work is being done in Cayman right now.
Yeah, it's a
agree
lot,
with
and
you.
I didn't know about half of these things that you were talking about a while
Exactly,
ago.
but they're there and they're real, and people are working hard at them.
Exactly. Okay, so let's track back to The Devil You Know. How was that process? I can only imagine how hard and long it is to create a movie.
Well, you're one of the few people who maybe realize that,
Yeah.
because
gosh.
before even I got into film, I didn't realize how hard it was to make a film.
Yeah.
So it was long. It took 1.5 years. So we wrote it maybe over 6 months. Took us like another 3 months to just pre-produce it, get the actors in, audition, then find the locations that we wanted to shoot, get their wardrobe sorted out, get them rehearsing, and then we had to coordinate the whole shoot. And there was like 20-something people on set each day. It took us a month to film it because we could only shoot on the weekends. So it took us about 8 days of shooting. We had to coordinate with the airport because we shot at the airport. We had to get a boat. We shot some underwater scenes. You know, we had to coordinate just a lot of different locations. And then we had to edit it, which is like the worst part.
I can
Yeah.
imagine.
And then we had to mix it in the sound. We had to get some composers to come and score the music for it. And we had to color it. So it's a long process. It took 1.5 years, and it was only 18 minutes long.
You see,
What do you
that's
mean?
shorter than I thought it would have been.
What do you mean by coloring it?
Color correct.
Oh.
So when you film, typically if you're doing a movie, you'd film it in a very what's it called?
Cinematic look.
Cinematic look. So
That's
it's
right,
in-
Trey.
Okay,
Which-
Trey.
I'm about to film it
yeah,
too.
man, he know what's going on, and the reason you do that is because it comes in a sort of format that you're able to elevate the colors. The
Mhm.
colors are a lot more flexible for you to arrange after the fact when you do it in cinematic. So that was a part of the process too.
Okay, so for someone like Trey, who is involved and aspire to be a filmmaker.
I am a film.
Oh, sorry. Correction.
Let me
Man said he
correct.
is a
Correction
filmmaker.
is a filmmaker.
Yeah, man.
What kind of advice would you give him?
Just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Just film. You know, that's at the end of the day, everybody wants to be a filmmaker. Not everybody, but a lot of people do. But at the end of the day, they don't write the script
Yes.
and they don't shoot the film,
Uh-huh.
right? And you have to start somewhere. The Devil You Know wasn't my first film. It was like my fourth. So I had to do 3 smaller films before I
Uh-huh.
worked myself up to that one, you know, and I wouldn't have been able to do that one unless I did the 3 smaller ones first. So
Yeah.
my number one opinion is just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Agree.
It takes a lot of work, and it's worth it when you play it in the cinema. It's a good feeling.
So hey, what were the 3 smaller ones that you created called?
The very first one.
Mhm.
Now, because remember I didn't study film, I
Mhm.
did go away for a week at the New York Film Academy, and that's where I got baptized into
A
film.
week?
Yeah, so that was the only studies that I had. But while I was there, we shot a film, and my first one, it was called "It's Not Rocket Science."
Mm-hmm.
The second one was called "Gift Horse,"
Uh-huh.
and the third one was called "Plantain," and then the fourth was "The Devil You Know."
Plantain?
Yeah.
Okay. How did plantain explain, please?
Oh wow, I don't even want to talk about
Oh,
that. It was a date gone wrong.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
no.
Boy meets girl, and then the boy is just really obnoxious and the girl is a sweetheart, so it doesn't work out. And basically I think it's called plantain because she's out there dating, in other words, like planting seeds and trying to get something to
Oh.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, those are all on YouTube.
We get it now. We're gonna look you up after
Yeah,
this.
definitely.
I want to see that one. Okay, so back to Ponciana.
Mhm.
Can you still get involved?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah,
and
man.
how
Do you have a
how do you
contact
do so?
email? or
Well,
anything?
in terms of getting involved to actually perform, it might be a little late.
Mhm.
Now, we have over 100 artists taking part in the whole of
Wow.
Ponciana.
Wow.
Yeah, local artists. So we've had
Wow.
67 visual art submissions,
Mhm.
and that's the arts.
Mhm.
We have over 30 local musicians, and we have over 30 local films and music videos and documentaries and stuff like that. So over 100 artists are taking part in Ponciana. So you can't, the deadlines have closed,
Mhm.
but you can definitely come and enjoy and see what's going on. And you're going to know enough people that's performing, right?
Yeah.
'Cause
Okay,
Cayman's
so
small
when and
enough.
where?
So Friday is the big day, the kickoff day on
Mhm.
Cardinal Avenue downtown.
Mhm.
That's the street dance. That's when we have 3 stages, and we're gonna have over 30 musicians playing across those 3 stages from 4 p.m. all the way till 1 in the morning.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, man. And actually, if people are interested, our C stage, we have the A stage, the B stage, and the C stage is in an alley right there on Cardinal Avenue.
Yeah.
And if people want to perform, they can maybe get in on that C stage because that would be more like an open mic. So there's still a
Okay.
possibility that you could perform. I would just, if you're interested in that, just go hang out by Acoustic Alley and talk to the producer there and say, hey, can I get on it next or something like that? And you'd be able to get on. Yeah,
Is this event free?
it is not free.
Mhm.
Well, it's free before 6 p.m.
Before.
Yeah,
okay.
so
And
if-
after?
And so at 6 p.m., after 6 p.m., it's $10 pre-sold, $15 at the gate.
Okay, and where can you buy the tickets from?
Funky Tanks, Discovery Center at Kamana Bay, and at the Epic and awesome offices in the Strand.
Always Funky Time.
Yeah, you don't know.
You want to get some tickets? Go to
All right.
Funky Time.
So I have a
Exactly.
question. I'm an Instagram guy. So which celebrities are coming down so I can take pictures with? Because my Instagram gotta be blowing up.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
Christina Sinrich, she's the biggest one on Instagram right now. Christina Sinrich, you might have seen her on Awe TV, A Wealth of Entertainment. She does Global Passport and Private Islands.
Oh,
Yeah.
So she came to Cayman in 2014 and did an episode on Cayman.
Yeah.
I helped her on that shoot. That's when I met her.
Really?
So she'll be here. She actually arrived today, and she's actually going to show at the cinema on Saturday her show that she did about Cayman.
Mhm.
So that's going to screen at the cinema, and then we'll have a question and answer with her afterwards.
Okay.
So she's won 2 Emmys, which is kind of cool.
That is cool.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Are you happy with that, Trey?
What more you want? Like,
Yeah.
You gonna pay for some more people
No.
to come down?
I'll just get my Instagram picture and just make my Instagram blow up.
Yeah, man.
You know,
That's all you want.
Yeah, my Instagram.
Don't worry, Trey. We'll try to do better next year. All right, we'll try to do better next year. But Christina, cool as heck, man.
Maybe you can feature me next year.
Yep.
Oh, just put the word in like that, you know.
Demand to submit next year, then what happened?
Exactly. Okay, so you didn't accept everyone who submitted.
No, because we got so many. We had to make some tough decisions. Like I said, there's more work being done in Cayman than people thinking of. So we had time schedules to work with, so we couldn't really accept everybody that submitted. But we had to choose based on some variables that we had that would fit with us, and stuff like that, and ones that we considered better. Don't mean that in a bad way, but you do want to elevate the artistic output in Cayman, right? So you do want to encourage people to kind of pit up against each other, like how is my album against your album, right? How is my video against your video, right? And that's kind of what we want to do with Ponciana. We do want to have a competitive spirit about it, and that's why we have an awards ceremony on Sunday where we're going to give out the Ponciana Awards for everything. Best LP, Best EP, Best Music Video, Best Documentary, Best Short Film, Best Painting, Best Sculpture, all those things.
And I like that because being from Cayman, sometimes I feel like we get comfortable and we do things at a little bit of slower pace, and we don't necessarily compete with our peers. And it's not that competition is a bad thing.
Right.
Sometimes it's a necessary thing to push you and to drive you to your fullest potential.
Amen.
And I love that you guys are encouraging that spirit, because I don't really see it often anymore, honestly. So
I agree.
that's good.
Yeah, I'm glad.
So you said that you chose based on certain variables. Is it possible for us to know any of those variables?
Well, sure. I mean, Ponciana is a Caymanian-based festival.
Yes.
Right? So we want it to be organic, right? Like the Ponciana tree, how the roots just spread deep into the earth, right? That's what we want to do with our festival. We want to spread deep. So it's Caymanian at the end of the day. We do have some international stuff. Like all things, we do need to be influenced by outside. All culture will be dynamic like that. But our festival then is aimed at organic. It's relevant and appropriate to Cayman culture at this moment in time. That's kind of our broad variable that we used.
Okay. All right. So it's a 3-day festival?
It actually starts today, so it's 5 days in total.
Okay,
but the
so
3 main days are Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, yes.
So what happened to today?
So today is the opening of the pop-up gallery, where the 67 art submissions will be on display in the Strand. It's open right now as we speak, and the public and the artists are there, and the judges are also there, and they're going to go and basically look through all the art that we have there in the Strand on the first floor. And so that's our sort of soft opening today.
Okay, and then tomorrow?
Tomorrow we have a seminar at Krav Maga Cayman, and it's basically a seminar that teaches you how to shoot fight scenes for movies.
Okay,
That's
and
so cool.
how do you get into that?
Yeah.
You pay?
That's also a free event at Krav Maga Cayman in the blue one, what do you call it? Galleria.
And what time?
6 till 9.
6 till 9.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a group out of New York called the Cinematic Fight Studio. They're here, and they're the ones that are going to be giving the seminar on how to shoot fight scenes.
Oh, wow. That sounds really, really interesting.
Yeah, man, you should.
Okay. We're keeping that in mind. Okay, so Friday. What's happening on Friday?
So Friday is the street dance on Cardinal Avenue. So it not only going to be music, too. We're going to have a movie corner. We're going to have food. We're going to have arts and craft. We're going to have a live art demonstration going on. So not just finished products, but a piece actually happening spur of the moment that the public can come and put their own touches on.
Oh, wow.
And so lots of different things going on. But that's the Friday, yeah.
And then Saturday?
Saturday is at the cinemas. And we have 3 screens from 12 to 6, which will be running at the same time. And it'll be showing basically a ton of local films and music videos and documentaries. And you can pick, choose, and refuse. All right, let's go check this one out. It's a $10 entry, but it's unlimited viewings.
Okay.
And you can just go and see whatever you want. There'll also be panels and Q&As.
Going on after each movie?
Going on in the at different times in different cinemas. So the schedule can be found on our website, ponciana.ky. So you can see exactly what's playing and when and where. But it'll all be in the cinema. And then we'll also premiere Self-Prescribed at 6 p.m.
All right.
So everything will close down. The 3 cinemas will close down, and then 1 cinema will open up for the premiere.
All right. And Self-Prescribed is whose film?
Self-Prescribed was produced by Awesome Productions. It was written by Tremaine Ebanks and Carly Lovingood and Laurie Spears. It was produced by Carly. So it was a lot of different young Caymanians
Yeah.
working on it, to be honest.
That's
I see
good.
it all over Facebook. It looks really interesting.
Cool.
Okay, and then Sunday.
Sunday's the award ceremony,
Okay.
and that's at the Hartwell.
Do you also have to pay $10 for that?
No, you have to pay $50 for that
Oh,
one, actually.
wow.
Yeah. So that one's kind of a elegant ceremony.
Upscale.
A little upscale, yeah.
Mhm.
Black tie, dress up.
Oh.
We're going for like the Grammys and the Oscars for Cayman.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
I like the sound of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. But it's a nice event. It's gonna be classy,
Mhm.
and the best of Cayman arts will be on display there, right? And the best of Cayman artists. And Ponciana is sponsor based. We're a non-profit, so a lot of the sponsors obviously will be there as well because they help support Ponciana. So we want to put something together that's elegant for them and classy and really just celebrate the arts.
Well, congratulations to you and your team for putting together this wonderful film festival, because this is huge. This is an actual accomplishment, and I hope everything goes well. But for someone who knows nothing about film, don't really watch TV, isn't really interested, what would you say to them to encourage them to come to this film festival?
I would say come and support your friends, because definitely a lot of your friends will be involved, and your family.
Mm-hmm.
So your friends and family will probably be involved. I think it's important to realize that not everybody in Cayman, especially young people, want to go study finance and accounting. And now is the time to support a change in that mindset,
Yes.
because, the universe is making here in Cayman creative young people.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to support that, because that's what the universe wants. Everybody, like Trey here,
Mm-hmm.
is doing creative stuff, making films, making music, making art. Maybe our parents, they were destined to do finance and accounting,
Yes.
but this generation is not destined for that. It's obvious, right?
Mm-hmm.
So support that movement. And I think by supporting Ponciana, that's why we're doing Ponciana, because we also want to support that movement. And we believe that Cayman could be the creative center of the Caribbean. Right?
All
We
right, I
really-
like that.
Yeah, man. That's what we aiming
I
for.
like that aim. I was just about to say that. I like that aim. Thank you so much for chatting with us today, and you are always welcome back on the Flex.
Oh,
Do you
thanks for
have-
having me. It's been
No
great. I
problem.
appreciate it. I really
Thank
do.
you. Do you have any final comments or shout outs?
No, just come to Ponciana, Cayman.
Mhm.
It's for you. It's about Cayman, and that's we just want everyone to really get involved. It's a community-based thing, and we just want the whole community to be a part of it. And like the Ponciana tree, we just want Cayman to blossom.
All right. We have our fourth music break.
Chanel's #1 girl tune is Waterfall by TLC.
Okay, we are back on the Flex. It's time to end our show. So, Trey, you can go ahead and do the sign out.
Okay. Heard today on Youth Flex was host Tijel, co-host Ayana, and Tennille. You have been listening to the Weekly Wednesday show. It's a joint initiative with the Radio Cayman and Youth Services Unit. This is Trey saying keep it chin up. And
And God bless.